I was checking the tensile readings on grade A572 when my phone buzzed. Text from Garrett Wells, my plant director. Wade, we're promoting Nicole Porter to VP Operations instead of you. She brings fresh MBA perspective. Announcement at 3 p.m. 22 years at Pittsburgh Steel Works, and they tell me through a text message, I'm Wade Sullivan, 48 years old, and this place has been my life since I started here after my Army service ended. Learned every grade specification, every welding protocol, every supplier relationship that kept Pittsburgh Steel competitive in a global market. My dad always told me the steel business was about more than metal. It was about trust, consistency, and understanding that every beam, every plate, every structural component carries someone's safety in its molecular structure. I set the phone down on my inspection clipboard and walked out to the main floor. The overhead cranes sounded different now, like equipment running outside operational parameters. Garrett was standing near the quality control station, coffee in hand, talking to Nicole like she just solved our throughput bottlenecks. She had her MBA from Wharton and a confident smile that looked impressive in board presentations. What she didn't have was any understanding of how steel actually behaved under stress, how temperature affected grain structure, or why our specific alloy compositions required precise timing and heat treatment cycles. I'd been training her for 6 months, showing her the heat treatment schedules I developed, the lean processes that cut our scrap rate by 8% and dropped material costs 6%. The vendor relationships that took decades to build and maintain. She took detailed notes, asked intelligent questions, and apparently decided my position looked more appealing than her consultant role. When I reached them, Garrett handed me an envelope. Thanks for mentoring Nicole, he said. She's really absorbed your operational philosophy. My operational philosophy. That's what we were calling 22 years of practical knowledge now. I opened the envelope while they watched. Inside was a performance review and a lateral transfer to senior technical advisor. Same pay, reduced authority, and a cubicle instead of an office. They wanted me to document my processes, train my replacement, then step aside quietly. I folded the papers and put them in my shirt pocket. When does this take effect? Monday, Garrett said. Nicole's got some innovative efficiency projects planned. Efficiency projects using the process documentation I'd spent over 2 decades refining. The heat treatment protocols that kept our rejection rate under 1.5%. The supplier agreements built through handshake deals and consistent performance, relationships that couldn't be transferred through PowerPoint presentations or organizational charts. My wife, Janet, had been counting on this promotion. We talked about it over dinner for months. The salary increase would help finish Danny's engineering student loans and finally build that retirement fund we'd been postponing. Now, I'd have to explain why 22 years of keeping this operation profitable wasn't enough to earn the respect of a VP title. But here's what they didn't understand. For the past 8 months, I'd been having discussions with Clint Morrison, who runs Morrison Fabrication about 20 miles east of Pittsburgh. What started as vendor meetings had evolved into something more substantial. Clint appreciated old-school reliability over theoretical optimization models. He understood that steel fabrication was still fundamentally a relationship business, built on trust and proven performance. That afternoon, I cleaned out my office methodically. 22 years of documentation, vendor contacts, process improvements, and troubleshooting protocols went into boxes, not out of bitterness, but because it belonged to me. Developed through my experience, refined through years of solving real problems, never formally documented in company databases because the most valuable knowledge exists in the gray areas between official procedures. The heat treatment schedules I'd created based on watching steel fail and learning the warning signs. The vendor relationships that secured us priority delivery and volume discounts, built through keeping promises and maintaining trust, even when corporate policies made it difficult. The welding specifications that improved our structural ratings, developed through trial and error across more than 2 decades of production challenges. I left copies of official procedures, but the real knowledge, the experience that made those procedures actually work in practice, walked out with me. Monday morning, Nicole moved into my office, fresh nameplate already installed, new whiteboard covered in MBA terminology like synergistic optimization and data-driven efficiency metrics. She called an all-hands meeting to introduce her vision for transforming our operation. We're revolutionizing our approach, she announced to the assembled floor crew. Wade established solid groundwork, but it's time to advance beyond traditional methods and embrace innovation that will position us competitively for the next decade. The floor supervisors exchanged glances. Perry Coleman, who'd worked alongside me for 16 years, just shook his head. These guys understood the difference between theory and application, between knowing what the manual says and understanding why the manual sometimes doesn't apply to real-world conditions. By Wednesday, problems started surfacing. Line 2 went down for scheduled maintenance, but the documentation Nicole was following didn't include the specific torque specifications for our bearing assemblies. Standard procedure indicated 85 foot-pounds, but experience taught me 78 for our particular setup due to ambient temperature fluctuations in our building's east wing. The heating system had never worked quite right in that section, and metal expands differently at 68 degrees versus 75 degrees. They torqued to 85. Bearing failed within 6 hours, 8-hour production delay waiting for replacement components that cost $3,200 and required emergency overnight shipping from Cleveland. Thursday brought vendor issues that revealed just how much Nicole didn't understand about the relationships that kept our operation running smoothly. Our primary supplier, Bennett Materials, needed to discuss delivery schedules for the upcoming quarter. Nicole scheduled a formal meeting with contracts and presentations, complete with PowerPoint slides about optimizing vendor relationships and streamlining supply chain efficiency. What she didn't realize was that Bennett had been flexible with us for years because of personal relationships built over decades. Ross Bennett and I went back to my early days at Pittsburgh Steel Works. We'd worked through supply shortages during the 2008 recession, payment delays when cash flow got tight, and quality issues that required immediate solutions rather than bureaucratic processes. These weren't just business arrangements, they were partnerships based on mutual respect and understanding. Ross called me directly that afternoon. "Wade, what's happening over there? This new person wants to renegotiate everything from scratch. Says she's optimizing vendor relationships according to best practices she learned in business school." I told him I wasn't involved in operations anymore. Ross was quiet for a moment, then said Bennett would honor existing contracts but wouldn't extend the special accommodations we'd enjoyed for years. No more priority deliveries when we had rush orders. No more volume discount pricing that had saved us thousands monthly. Everything would be strictly by contract terms, nothing more. By the second week, deterioration was obvious to anyone who understood how steel production actually worked. Production efficiency dropped 12% as Nicole's team struggled with equipment they didn't fully understand. Maintenance costs increased because they were using generic procedures instead of the equipment-specific protocols I developed through years of trial and error. 3 suppliers stopped offering preferred pricing, treating us like any other customer instead of a valued partner. Perry Coleman started texting me updates, not because I asked, but because he was watching systems collapse in real time. "She's bringing in consultants," he wrote, "going to analyze our processes and recommend improvements. Costs the company $200 per hour to study what you built over 22 years. The same processes I'd built through hands-on problem solving, refined through understanding how steel behaved under different conditions, improved through countless small adjustments that made the difference between theoretical efficiency and practical results." Now they'd pay consultants to reinvent what they already had, except without the institutional knowledge that made it work. Meanwhile, I was getting established at Morrison Fabrication, and the contrast was striking. Clint's operation was smaller, but more focused. Family-owned, 2 generations of building quality structural steel without corporate complications or MBA theories. When I explained what I could contribute to their operation, Clint didn't request presentations or data projections. "Show me," he said simply. I spent 4 weeks analyzing their production flow, identifying bottlenecks they'd been managing around for years, proposed modifications to their heat treatment program based on techniques I'd refined at Pittsburgh Steel Works, suggested vendor consolidation that could reduce material costs 11% while improving delivery reliability. Clint gave me complete authority to implement changes. "You've been doing this longer than my son's been alive," he said. "Make it work," and it worked better than I'd expected. Within 8 weeks, we'd improved line efficiency 14%, reduced downtime by 35%, and streamlined the supply chain so deliveries arrived when needed rather than when convenient for suppliers. The equipment hummed with that steady rhythm that tells you everything's calibrated properly. Temperature readings stayed consistent. Vibration levels within acceptable parameters. Quality metrics hitting targets consistently. Clint offered something Pittsburgh Steel Works never had: equity participation. Not just employment, but ownership stake in the improvements I created. After 22 years of generating profits for others, Someone finally wanted to share the benefits. The partnership agreement gave me 25% ownership in operational improvements, with potential to increase based on performance. Back at Pittsburgh Steel Works, conditions kept deteriorating as Nicole's consultant-driven improvements failed to account for real-world complexity. The consultants completed their analysis and recommended implementing optimized lean manufacturing protocols. Essentially, they reverse-engineered my systems, gave them academic names, and charged $95,000 for the privilege of documenting what I'd already built. But implementation was catastrophic because consultants understood methodology without context. They recognized procedures but missed the subtle adjustments that made those procedures work in practice. Equipment requiring specific handling received generic treatment. Suppliers needing personal relationships got form letters about optimized procurement processes. Perry's updates became more frequent and concerning. Fifth equipment failure this month, line 3 down for emergency repairs again. Garrett's looking worried in every meeting. Nicole keeps blaming legacy equipment and inherited inefficiencies, but the guys on the floor know better. Inherited inefficiencies. That's what they called 22 years of maintaining profitable operations while building a reputation for quality and reliability in a competitive industry. The breaking point arrived during their 4th month of consultant-driven improvements. Line 1 shut down completely, not for scheduled maintenance, but due to catastrophic gear failure that should have been prevented by proper monitoring protocols. The kind of failure I'd learned to recognize through sound patterns and vibration analysis. Techniques that couldn't be taught through PowerPoint presentations or documented in procedure manuals. Nicole's team had been following consultant recommendations instead of practical experience. They missed the acoustic warning signs that indicated bearing stress, ignored the vibration data that showed increasing instability, pushed equipment beyond safe parameters because their efficiency metrics indicated acceptable performance ranges, not understanding that those ranges applied to ideal conditions, not the real-world variables of our specific setup. The result was a 16-hour shutdown, emergency parts replacement flown in from Detroit, overtime crews working through the weekend, and customer delivery delays that triggered penalty clauses in major contracts. The cascading failure that happens when you replace institutional knowledge with theoretical frameworks, when you prioritize process optimization over understanding the underlying systems. Perry texted me a photo from the plant floor showing the damaged equipment. Nicole's in Garrett's office getting lectured right now, he wrote. Word is corporate headquarters wants detailed explanations for the increasing maintenance costs and declining performance metrics. I looked at that photo without satisfaction, just disappointment that 22 years of practical knowledge was being destroyed because someone confused credentials with competence. The equipment damage was exactly what I'd warned about during Nicole's training, the kind of failure that happens when you ignore the subtle indicators that experienced operators learn to recognize. At Morrison Fabrication, we were hitting our stride in ways that reminded me why I'd fallen in love with steel work in the first place. The efficiency improvements I'd implemented were generating substantial profits, but more importantly, they were creating a work environment where experience was valued and expertise was rewarded. Clint was discussing expansion opportunities that could double our capacity within 2 years. Wade, Clint said one afternoon as we reviewed production reports, "How would you feel about becoming full operations partner? Equal authority with me, increased equity stake, and we're establishing profit sharing for every floor supervisor and senior technician. Operations partner." The position I'd been denied at Pittsburgh Steel Works, but offered here with genuine authority and shared ownership at a place that valued results over politics. The equity arrangement would give me 40% ownership in the company, with potential to buy Clint out completely when he retired in 8 to 10 years. Janet was excited when I told her that evening over dinner. We were sitting at our kitchen table, the same one where we'd planned our finances for 25 years of marriage, where we'd discussed Danny's college options and Kristen's pre-med aspirations. The salary increase was significant, $95,000 plus performance bonuses, but the equity stake was transformative for our family's future. "You've earned this," she said, reaching across to squeeze my hand. 22 years of them taking you for granted, treating you like overhead expense instead of the asset you are. Now they'll see what they lost. The irony deepened over the following months. 10 months after I joined Morrison, we started competing directly with Pittsburgh Steel Works for contracts. Same customer base, similar products, but we could deliver faster and cheaper because our operation actually functioned efficiently. Our maintenance schedules prevented failures instead of constantly reacting to them. Our supplier relationships meant priority treatment and volume discounts. Our processes were refined through experience, not consultant theories. The first major contract we won was particularly satisfying. Industrial equipment supplier that had worked with Pittsburgh Steel Works for over a decade. When they opened bidding for their annual structural steel requirements, Morrison came in 18% lower with guaranteed delivery schedules that Pittsburgh Steel Works couldn't match in their current condition. Perry texted me that night. "Heard you guys won the Patterson Industries account." Garrett called an emergency management meeting. Nicole's saying we need to reassess our competitive position and identify operational inefficiencies. Reassess competitive position. She was learning that process documentation without understanding is just expensive paperwork. You can optimize what you don't fundamentally comprehend, and you can't build relationships through reorganization charts. More contracts followed as word spread through Pittsburgh's tight-knit industrial community. Our efficient operation could consistently underbid the bloated bureaucracy I'd left behind. Customers who remembered my reliability followed the work to Morrison. Suppliers who valued relationship-based business gave us priority treatment and better pricing. The equipment manufacturer who'd switched to us called Clint directly. "Your operations partner Wade used to handle our account at our previous vendor," the purchasing manager explained. "We followed him here because he actually delivers on promises. That's rare in today's business environment." Word spreads quickly in steel fabrication. Customers communicate with other customers about vendor performance. Suppliers compare experiences across different clients. When you've built trust over decades through consistent performance, people remember. And when that trust leaves one company, it doesn't disappear. It relocates to wherever the trusted person goes. Within 12 months, Pittsburgh Steel Works was in serious financial difficulty. Equipment failures had become constant because they'd abandoned maintenance protocols that actually worked, replacing them with consultant recombinant optimization that looked good on paper but failed in practice. Production delays were damaging customer relationships built over decades. They'd cycled through 5 different consulting firms, spending over $300,000 trying to solve problems that practical experience could have prevented. The final blow came when their biggest customer, Crawford Industries, terminated their contract early due to quality issues and delivery delays. Quality problems that resulted from pushing equipment beyond safe parameters. Delivery delays caused by equipment failures that proper maintenance would have prevented. Communication problems that stemmed from replacing relationship management with form letters and automated systems. Crawford's purchasing manager called me the day after they canceled their Pittsburgh Steel Works contract. "Wade, we heard you're at Morrison Fabrication now. We've got structural steel requirements coming up for 3 major projects. You interested in bidding?" Just like that. A $3.2 million annual contract walked out of Pittsburgh Steel Works' portfolio into ours. Not because we pursued it aggressively, but because competence has a reputation that follows you in specialized industries where performance matters more than presentation. The phone call I'd been anticipating finally came. Garrett Wells' number appeared on my screen at 10:30 on a Friday morning, and I could hear the desperation under his professional tone before he even started talking. "Wade, we need to discuss something important. Can you come in today? We're experiencing some operational challenges that could benefit from your expertise." I could hear Nicole in the background, probably coaching him on what to say. Production problems had become financial losses. Customer complaints had turned into contract terminations. Corporate headquarters was demanding explanations that Garrett couldn't provide because the problems stemmed from replacing institutional knowledge with theoretical frameworks. "I've got 30 minutes at 4 p.m., I told him, checking my schedule. I was curious to see how desperate they'd become. When I walked into Garrett's office that afternoon, the change was dramatic. He looked like he'd aged 15 years in 15 months. Nicole was there too, laptop open, looking defensive. The whiteboard behind her still displayed MBA buzzwords like synergistic optimization and data-driven efficiency metrics, but now they looked like evidence of failure rather than innovation. "We're experiencing operational challenges," Garrett began carefully, clearly reading from notes Nicole had prepared. "Transition difficulties that have created some inefficiencies in our production processes. We hoped you might consider consulting with us on technical matters." Technical matters. They wanted to hire me back as a contractor to repair the problems created by replacing me. The irony was perfect. Pay premium consulting rates to rebuild systems they dismantled because they thought my expertise wasn't worth a VP salary. "What kind of technical matters?" I asked, adjusting my safety glasses out of habit. Nicole spoke up, her confidence noticeably diminished from our last interaction. We're having equipment reliability issues and supplier relationship complications. Your institutional knowledge could help us optimize our troubleshooting protocols and restore operational efficiency. Institutional knowledge, supplier relationship complications. She was describing the complete collapse of everything I'd built, using business school language to avoid admitting that replacing experience with theory had been a catastrophic mistake. "You want me to fix the problems you created by getting rid of me," I said directly. Garrett shifted uncomfortably in his chair. "It's not that simple, Wade. We value your expertise tremendously. We're prepared to offer very competitive consulting rates, minus $180 per hour on a temporary basis to help us through this transition period." I almost smiled. They were willing to pay me $180 hourly to rebuild systems I'd maintained for years at my regular salary. And when the crisis passed, Nicole would receive credit for successfully resolving the operational challenges through strategic consulting partnerships. "I appreciate the offer," I said, standing up from my chair, "but I'm not available for consulting work." Garrett's face went pale. "Wade, please be reasonable. We can negotiate the terms. We're willing to discuss $200 per hour, maybe even a short-term management position." "I'm being completely reasonable," I replied. "You decided you didn't need my expertise 15 months ago. Turns out you were wrong about that. But that's not my concern anymore." I left that meeting knowing they were in real trouble. Equipment failures were increasing monthly, costs were climbing while quality declined. Customer satisfaction was dropping as delivery schedules became unreliable. Their solution was throwing consulting money at problems that required institutional knowledge and practical experience. 6 weeks later, Perry texted me with news that completed the circle. "Nicole got terminated today. Emergency board meeting this morning. Garrett's announcing early retirement next month. Word is they're bringing in a turnaround specialist to try salvaging what's left." The house of cards had collapsed. Not because I actively sabotaged anything, but because I'd removed the foundation of practical knowledge and taken it somewhere that appreciated its value. At Morrison Fabrication, we were preparing for major expansion that would establish us as a regional industry leader. The success we'd achieved had attracted attention from a large construction consortium looking for reliable steel fabrication partners. They wanted to discuss a long-term partnership that could triple our production capacity. Clint called me into his office before the consortium meeting. "Wade, this is your presentation to lead. You built what they want to purchase. I want you handling all negotiations." The consortium meeting exceeded every expectation. They'd researched our efficiency improvements and spoken extensively with our customers. What impressed them most wasn't our equipment or facilities, but our operational consistency and reliability record. "Your performance metrics are outstanding," their lead negotiator said, reviewing our documentation. 16 months of on-time delivery, 0 quality complaints, industry-leading cost structure with profit margins 12% above regional average. "How do you maintain that kind of performance consistency?" "Experience," I told him simply. "We don't chase theories or trends. We solve problems based on understanding how steel actually behaves under real-world conditions." They offered a 6-year partnership worth $85 million annually, guaranteed volume commitments, premium pricing for specialty work, and profit-sharing incentives for meeting performance targets. The kind of agreement that transforms a family business into an industry leader with regional influence. That evening, Janet and I celebrated at the same restaurant where we'd had our first date 26 years ago. The equity stake I'd earned at Morrison was now worth serious money, enough to ensure Danny's remaining student loans were covered, Kristen's medical school expenses handled, and our retirement secured 10 years ahead of schedule. "You know what makes me happiest about this?" Janet said, raising her wine glass. "It's not even the money, though. That's wonderful. It's seeing you respected and valued for what you do instead of taken for granted." She was absolutely right. For 22 years, I'd been treated like an overhead expense instead of a valuable asset. Now my expertise was generating wealth for our family, instead of just preventing problems for others. 4 months later, I received the call that brought everything full circle. The private equity firm that had acquired Pittsburgh Steel Works after its bankruptcy wanted to meet. They'd heard about my track record at Morrison and were interested in hiring me to turn around their struggling acquisition. "We understand you originally built those operational systems," their representative explained. "The facility has significant potential, but it needs experienced leadership to restore profitability. We're prepared to offer substantial compensation. They wanted to pay me $210,000 base salary plus performance bonuses to rebuild what I'd already built once. The ultimate irony, they destroyed my life's work, then offered premium rates for me to recreate it from scratch. I'm not interested, I told them directly, but Mr. Sullivan, this could be extremely profitable for you personally. It's not about profit, I said. It's about respect. That place never valued what I brought to it. I'm not interested in going back to fix their mistakes. The call that truly mattered came from Clint, with an idea that changed everything again. Wade, the private equity firm, has decided to liquidate Pittsburgh Steel Works' entirely equipment auction, building lease available. What would you say to buying back the facility? We restructure as Sullivan Morrison Steel. You take 60% ownership, I keep 40%. We hire back the good people and build it right this time. Sullivan Morrison Steel, my family name on the building where it belonged, combined with a partner who understood the value of experience and practical knowledge. Today I'm sitting in my office at Sullivan Morrison Steel, reviewing expansion plans that will make us the largest specialty steel fabricator in Western Pennsylvania. On the wall hangs a photo of me and Danny working together on our first major project. He graduated with his engineering degree and joined the company as a project manager, eager to learn the practical side of what his textbooks couldn't teach. The building hums with that steady rhythm that tells you everything's running properly. Temperature readings consistent, vibration levels within tolerance, delivery schedules ahead of target, quality metrics exceeding industry standards. Sullivan Morrison Steel thrives because we never forgot the fundamental truth about manufacturing. Experience matters more than credentials. Relationships matter more than processes. And building something solid takes time, patience, and respect for the people who do the work. Sometimes the best revenge against being undervalued isn't proving them wrong through confrontation. It's building something so successful, so fundamentally sound, that their opinion becomes completely irrelevant to your success and happiness. Because in the end, respect isn't something you can demand or negotiate. It's something you earn by proving your worth. And once you've proven it, you never have to beg for it again.